Hey, I'm Officer Baruch.
Officer Titus.
Hey, all praises. So the title of the class today, y'all, is called Prove Them Well. Prove Them Well. All right. This is one of these topics we got to go into because a lot of times people like to rush things when it comes to actually getting a significant other, a wife, or, you know, the brother getting a wife, basically. So a lot of people rush the process, or they don't do it the proper way. They end up, what do you call it?
Jumping the gun.
Jumping the gun. What's the other term? Backdoor marriages. It ends up that way because we don't follow the proper steps. All right, we don't follow the proper steps. So we're gonna dive into a little bit. It's not gonna be a long class, but Lord's will is edifying. All right. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28. We're going to read verse 15. So I just want to paint a picture first, all right?
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15.
Come on.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Jump to verse, so let's see some curses that can overtake us. Let's go to verse 60.
Verse 60. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt.
Come on.
Which thou wast after of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also, every sickness and every plague, which is not written in the book of the law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed.
Right. So we read in Deuteronomy 28, the curses that's on Israel because we're breaking God's commandments, right? So you may wonder, what do you mean proving, and what did this got to do with anything? It has to do with a lot, because dealing with proving, we know that a lot of our people could be plagued with this because they were breaking God's commandments. So you want to know certain things, right? But I want you to realize this, though. These curses can come upon you if you skip the proving stage. You can fall into something or get into somebody or get with somebody that may have some of this because you skipped the proving process. You neglected the order. All right, so you got to think about that. Curses came upon us because we were disobedient. So if you still follow the same trait, the same trend, then some curses gonna come upon you. All right, let's jump. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 10. 1 Corinthians chapter 10. We're gonna read verse 6.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10 and verse 6.
Come on.
And having in a readiness to reverence all disobedience when our obedience is fulfilled.
Well, what are you reading, brother?
Oh, I'm tripping.
Come on.
That's
pay
2
attention.
Corinthians.
Right, pay attention. 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 6.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10 and verse 6.
Come on.
Now these things were our examples, to the intent we should not lust after evil things, as they also lusted.
All right, read.
Neither be ye idolizers, as were some of them.
Right, so some in past time, dealing with us coming out of Egypt, we were idolizers. Come on.
As it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink, and rose up to play.
Keep going.
Neither let us commit fornication, as some of them committed.
Think about this. We're reading something. So curses can come upon us when we break God's commandments. Some of the things they were doing in the past were fornications. Now you have to get married because you skipping the process. You falling right back into the same trend that was upon us back in the day. The same thing. Come on.
And fell in one day 23,000.
Read.
Neither let us tempt Christ, as some of them also tempted, and were destroyed of serpents. Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured, and were destroyed of the destroyer.
Jump to verse 12.
Verse 12. Wherefore, let him that thinketh he standeth taketh heed lest he fall.
Right. So these things that the same things we can fall into. So we have to take heed. Take heed to what? The counsels that's given. The things that we learned aforetime. We have to take heed to these things so we won't fall just like we did before. We won't keep the same trend. We're trying to get out of this captivity. We're trying to build a nation, but we can't properly follow the steps to get the nation back. We got to stop there. We have to take heed. All right. Keep going.
Verse 13. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man.
Right. So they're saying that is this happened before? Like what you going through is somebody been through it before. Read.
But God is faithful.
God is faithful. Come on.
Who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able.
Right. So the ones that want to get to the process of being married, you have to follow these steps. He's not putting you something that you can't handle. He's not putting you through these things. Oh, I feel this way. I gotta. No, it's not for you to rush. It's for you to take heed. All right. To the counsels. Come on.
But will with the temptation also make a way to escape.
He's making a way. How is that? He got brothers, leadership that's in front of you that can give you the right examples. That can teach you the right things. You got numerous of videos of classes that the bishops, the deacons, the captains, officers brung out. And you've seen examples in your congregations of people messing up. So you got ways to escape. Okay, I'm not falling into that. I don't want to have that up on me. You have to take heed. All right. Keep going.
That ye may be able to bear it.
That you may be able to bear it. All right. Hey, give me the definition of prove real quick. The definition of prove.
The definition, Google definition of prove, demonstrates the truth or existence of something by evidence or argument.
The definition is saying demonstrate the truth. The truth. The truth. Keep going. And then what?
It says demonstrate the truth or existence of something by evidence or argument.
Right. So in proving, you have to have some evidence. Proving what? We're going to get into it. You have to have the evidence, though. You got to make sure, okay, this person I'm proving is lining up to what the scriptures say. Lining to the examples like the foremothers or the forefathers. They're lining up to this. We have to have this. We have to have this mindset, all right? This definition explains the process. It's telling you, all right? Let's go. Let's go to Romans 15:4.
The book of Romans, chapter 15 and verse 4.
Come on.
For whatsoever things are written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
Us going to the scriptures, the comfort that's in it, we can have hope. All right? We can get comfort from it and have hope by us diving into the understanding, the history of how the proving process needs to be. The examples that the leadership bring out, all right? This is the mindset we got to have in the process of proving. Let's go to Proverbs 19. Proverbs 19. Let me get there real quick in verse 20. Come on.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 19 and verse 20. Hear counsel and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in thy latter end.
Right. So it's showing you something here. You have to hear counsel. Hear counsel. So proving, and you got to hear counsel. What do you mean? Meaning you have to go to your leadership first. That's the process. Look, if you see your leadership as your father figure, sisters, go to your leadership and say, hey, I'm looking to prove who can you find me? Can you help me? This is what we got to do. We can't go past this. This is not the world where you can go off and, well, I'm going to pick who I want, because you tried that. You failed at it. Now you're a baby mama. Now you done, or whatever the case may have been, now you got caught up in some disease.
Bring it up.
These things happen in the world. We got to purge it out. We have to. You got to get counsel. You got to take heed to the counsel you get, the instructions. You got to have someone help find these things for you. You men too, because you failed. Now you got the baby mama that's a loudmouth woman. Now you got one that now you paying child support because you didn't follow the steps. You didn't prove that person. You didn't see if that person was how they spirit is. You made haste. You can't do that. You have to slow it down, examine, because listen, that's the one you got to be with for the rest of your life. You want to make sure they're perfect according to the scriptures. All right. Is that all on that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's go to Sirach, chapter 37. So you have to seek counsel. By who? By the leadership, by the elders, by the men that's put over you. Think about it. And if you ain't, you got to have this too. You got to have the mind and the willing mindset to work, right? So if you ain't doing no work, and that's why a lot of times they don't go to the leadership, because they ain't known in the body. They don't do nothing. So they'll go behind the back, and then this backdoor stuff, all that happened. Now it's trouble in your marriage, or whatever the case may be, because you wasn't doing what it took to go feel confident enough to go to the leadership to even say, hey, well, you ready or you not ready. Or you just didn't give a damn. And that's a lot of times that happens. A lot of times. Many cases. 37, read what you got.
37.
16, sorry.
The book of Sirach, chapter 37 and verse 16.
Come on.
Let reason go before every enterprise, and counsel before every action.
And counsel before every action. Every action. Counsel. You have to go get counsel. You have to say, okay, I'm ready to prove. I got to go get this. Am I ready? I think I'm ready. Am I ready? Well, you need to get built a little bit more. I see you slacking off here, or whatever the case. Well, you only in the truth for a year. You still need to you need to chill. You need to make sure you done made it to every feast day possible. You need to do this first. You gotta go get it. Because you rush into these things, it's not gonna look good. It's not gonna be good. We already know it's trouble in the flesh when it comes to marriage. Now you adding this, the wicked way you might have done it into the marriage. Now you making it worse than it had to be. So you have to examine these things. We have to. Is that it, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's go. Let's go to Proverbs 15. Proverbs 15 and 22.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 15 and verse 22.
Come on.
Without counsel, purposes are disappointed.
It says, without counsel, purposes are disappointed. Come on.
But in the multitude of counselors, they are established.
In the multitude of counselors, they are established. Now that's wisdom in it. Now, maybe I don't know much about the brother the sister interested in, but maybe the other leadership does. Now you getting this counsel. You actually took effort to come to the table that's every Sabbath that's sitting right in front of you to get help, get counsel. You actually took that step. And that's going to help you move the right way. That's going to get some answers that you need. It goes for you brothers too. You have to have this mind. You have to work this way, all right? Come on. Is that it on it?
Yes, sir.
All right, do me a favor. Go pull up the definition again.
The definition of prove. Demonstrate the truth or existence of something by evidence or argument.
Right. Let's push the down tab for the synonyms.
We have demonstrate, show, manifest, determine, verify, ratify, validate, authenticate, certify, confirm.
So look at these words we're reading. It says, when you're proving, you want to verify certain things, validate these things to see if it's real. Isn't that not what the scriptures say?
Yes, sir.
Like, prove all things. Okay, so let's get that. First Thessalonians. So when we looking at these things, we're like, if I'm proving somebody, it's a process they need to go through, right? It's something that we have to do. But watch this.
The book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5 and verse 21.
Come on.
Prove all things. Hold fast that which is good.
Right. So the scriptures say prove all things. The definition is telling you to prove somebody, you got to prove. You got to make sure this is real, factual, or what they're saying, what's going on. You can't just jump the gun. You can't just assume that they're right. It's not. That's not the process. Let's go to Proverbs 6. I'm sorry, Sirach 6 and verse 7.
The book of Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him.
So if you want a wife or a husband, you have to prove them first, and be not hasty to credit them. You can't rush into that. You got to prove all things. You got to make sure. Okay, I believe you saying what you saying. No, some people are here just to get in the pants. It is what it is. Some people are like that. Some people are really here just to get in the pants. You got to have your mind.
So proving keeps you from falling in love with that person's representative.
Right.
Okay. I just want to make sure
Right. The proper steps it's not based on lust at the end of the day.
Right.
It's based on you're proving a friend. You're proving yourself to make sure, okay, this is somebody I can live with for the rest of my life. I can live with them. That means what? You gotta, it's certain things that you're gonna go through. You gotta go through it. You gotta try them. And we're gonna get that. You have to try them. Right? You gotta make sure, okay, this spirit, let's see if this spirit is rolling right. We have to do that, but our minds got to be focused on the proper steps. We can't be hasty. Let's go to Proverbs 17.
And
verse 17.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 17 and verse 17. A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity.
Right, so you got to know this person, once you build them to being that friend, they're going to love you. That's how you building the love. That's how you getting them. That's how you really knowing. But if you skip the process, then you have improved properly, then you'll never know what the real love is. It's based off of something else. It's based off of something vain. Keep reading on Sirach, though. Go back to Sirach. Sirach chapter 6 and verse 7.
The book of Sirach chapter 6 and verse 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. For some men is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of thy trouble.
But we want to hit this first part. It says, for some man is a friend for his own occasion. So you got to think about that. Maybe it's just based on you got a big butt. Your face is fine. Maybe you just buff. Maybe your teeth is just super white. I want my babies to, maybe you light skinned and I want my babies to look like you.
Bring it out.
Maybe it's on that. Or maybe, I know he got money or I know she got money. Most of the times I know he got money. So he gonna go on child support when it's all said and done. But you got to think about that. You got to make sure you proving them. Go to Sirach 19:4. You got to make sure you're doing these things.
The book of Sirach, chapter 19 and verse 4. He that is hasty to give credit is light-minded.
So that person that's hasty on any side to give credit is light-minded. You're simple. To just automatically assume that they're doing it for the right reasons and you're not taking the proper steps of proving, they haven't even made it a whole year of keeping commandments. They ain't even been to a whole tabernacle. They skipped the Day of Atonement. You are not proving. You have to slow it down. You can't rush into these things. You have to slow it down. Because there's no wisdom in rushing when it comes to marriage. Because remember, marriage is made for us to live together forever, to die. Like, you're going to die old together. But you can't do that if you rush in the process. We've seen in many cases in the past months, leadership has been going over dumb decisions people made and rushing into this, skipping the process of proving, rushing into it, the marriage, and now I'm going to punch you in your face while you're driving down the street. I'm going to slap you. I'm going to kick you out the house.
I'm going to call you a band.
All of that. A B.A. nigga. I'm going to call you that. And you're going to be the simp. You have to have your mind. Look, you have to structure properly. You got to this is at a point you should want to get help for these things before the issue comes. Or so you can avoid an issue. Meaning you don't know how to prove. You couldn't learn it in the world because your mom didn't know it. Your daddy was a rolling stone. Wherever he laid his head was his home. He was doing that. You had so many uncles at one point in time. Like you don't know. It wasn't a real, they didn't do it properly. All you knew is he was your uncle. How your uncle white and you black? How's that happening? How he Asian and you black? That ain't your uncle, brother. They never properly followed the process. They didn't know it. So you can't learn from them in the world. And that's a lot of time. Go to 1 Corinthians 15. That's what a lot of things messed up at, because you say, well, I ain't got counsel, whatever the case may be, but you didn't get it from the right people. You got it from your aunt that can't keep a man. They ain't never been married. That's got 10 kids. You got it from your uncle. He got 5 different baby mamas. They don't know. Read what you got. 15:33.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15 and verse 33. Be not deceived.
You all right, brother?
Yes.
All right.
Be not deceived. Evil communication corrupt good manners.
Right. Don't be deceived. Evil communication corrupt good manners. And I'm going to flip it on you because it's one of those, you can hear from your family member. But listen, when you proving, that same thing can come up. They can smooth talk you. The woman can smooth talk the man. The man can smooth talk the sister. Or you smooth talk you right out of your pants, out of your dress. She'll smooth talk you right out of your pants. Matter of fact, she just smooth talk you so much you ain't even got fringes on no more. You gotta see these things. That the communication can corrupt you. What you're trying to move forward to have to get to the kingdom of heaven. All that can be gone away, thrown out in the back because you didn't follow the proper steps. You didn't care for getting help, getting counsel. You said, well, she looked good, he looks good, they must be good. That ain't the case all the time. Officer always says, what's good for you? How it go? Right. If it's good, it's bad. If it's bad, it's good. Now you gotta think about that. Because they look good, don't mean it's good for you. You might need somebody that ain't all that good, but they keeping the commandments. They don't look that good, but they keeping the commandments. Think about that. All right, we have to move that way. We got to have that mindset. We can't do it like this. Go to Timothy, 2 Timothy. Second Timothy chapter 2 and verse 22.
The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2 and verse 22.
Come on.
Flee also youthful lust.
We had to have this mindset. We can't run in. We can't go into this after lust. We have to flee these things. You can't go based on we know, okay, if you burning, you want to make sure you follow the steps to get married, right? You can get a wife. If you can't withhold, get you a husband, whatever the case. But you can't base proving to get married off of lust. It's not going to work, because you got with this person because they look so good, they talk so smooth, but they are a devil, they are a demon. And we don't see that. You can't see that on the outside. The outside don't have demon on their forehead. Or every time they talk, you hear, hey, how you doing? You look. But really the words are saying, I'm the devil, I'm the devil. It's not happening like that. Nah, they're going to smooth talk you all the way to Never Never Land. Never Never Land meaning you never getting in the kingdom, because you're going to fall into some sin. Or you're going to hate each other, or you're going to fight. That can happen, You got the mind of repentance, though. You follow the proper steps. You can avoid these things. We try to tell you. A lot of people fall into the wrong thing, and guess what? We can't help you now. You didn't even take the counsel, so what it look like we trying to give you more counsel on the poor decision you made, and you ain't going to take counsel anyway. Like we just sit here talking like we dumb or something. Like you just don't hear us. We're not doing that. We can't roll that way. All right? You about to say something?
No, I was going to say a lot of times, men especially, they get caught up in, hips, lips, and fingertips. And, they get into that outer appearance,
right,
which goes into the representative. So you eliminate the proving process because your youthful lust puts you in a position where you like, she looks so fine, not realizing that within it's sour milk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You don't want to fall into that. Right. Look, everything you just named, you said lips, fingertips, and what else?
And hips.
And hips. That sounds like a monster to me. All I think of the pictures leadership puts with the gremlins, with the long nails and stuff. Look, get it together, all right? We got to get it together. We're warning you now. This is a warning. Make sure you follow the steps, because you fall into that lust, that evil wickedness. It's your fault. It's your fault. Like classes like this and many other classes like this, we're warning you. We're teaching you. We're trying to guide you. But you don't. So a lot of people don't want that. They don't want that guidance. I used to have this coworker. He always say, "I'm waiting on God to find me a." Like, listen. God ain't coming to you, Negro. He ain't. You wicked. Get it together. Like, he's using the men. So if you want God, what you going to do is follow the godly men. God has put them in place to be his voice.
That's right.
But a lot of people neglect that. They don't get it. They go way around it. And then they fall into the temptations like this. Read it again.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2 and verse 22.
Come on.
Flee also youthful lusts, but follow righteousness, faith, charity, peace with them that call on the Lord out of a pure heart.
Right. That's what you got to do. You have to follow righteousness. You can't follow after your lust to say, well, this is how I'm going to give me a wife. Listen, you think Kanye was following the righteous way?
Hell no.
And he already quoted, all the men leave one, get to a white girl, whatever the case. Kanye wasn't moving righteously. And what he had now? No wife.
Hips, lips, and fingertips.
That's what it was. Hips, lips, and fingertips for real. We gotta examine these things. We have to. All right. Let's go to Sirach 18.
Yes, sir. Sirach 18.
Verse 30.
The book of Sirach, chapter 18 and verse 30.
Uh-huh.
Go not after thy lusts, but refrain thyself from thine appetites.
Refrain yourself from thine appetite. Don't go after your lust. Don't do it. If you roll it in your lust, you might fall into this.
Sexually transmitted diseases. We have infectious bacteria, transmission of diseases, STDs. We got gonorrhea, symptoms of gonorrhea. Hey, can you blow it up just a little bit? Okay, inflammation, painful urination, discharge of yellow pus, infection.
That sounds nasty.
That is very nasty. Infection in females may be.
But nah, you know, a lot of people, they don't think of this when they in their lust, though.
Oh, no.
Like, you don't think of this. And this ain't the worst. I pulled this up because they had a few different things on here, but you know, some of these diseases you can't get rid of. Like, you stuck with it. Syphilis, what is the other one? Chlamydia, herpes. Mm-hmm. Some of these things are undetected. You don't see them on them. But we want to go after our lust when it comes to getting married or approving process. We have to follow the right things. We can't rush because, like, he looking at some of his stuff like this stuff. This is nasty.
One of them looked like a hole in the foot.
Hole in the foot.
I think it's called lave syphilis.
Bruh. This is crazy right here. And this ain't even all of them. We ain't talking about AIDS that kill a lot of our people. HIV. We have to make sure our minds are right. We have to. Now read the Sirach again.
The book of Sirach, chapter 18, in verse 30. Go not after thy lusts, but refrain thyself from thine appetites.
Uh-huh.
If thou givest thy soul the desire that please her, she will make thee a laughingstock to thine enemies that malign thee.
Right. You're going to be a laughingstock. If you give over to those things, it's not good for you. Now you're going to be known at this type of sister or this type of brother. You got to focus. We have to. And a lot of times people don't understand this too, because the things you do can mess up the ministry. You can slow the ministry down for poor decisions you make. You can be a ranked brother or whatever the case, and now you got to do this. And now that's one less brother we got going out to go teach our people in these different towns, in the cities that we're in. That's one sister that can't help new sisters come in. That's true, because you want to do, and you know what it's built off of? Being selfish. Like, you don't care. Being selfish. We have to, that selfish mentality, we have to purge it out. That's stopping us from getting the kingdom of heaven. It's slowing the process down. All right, go to Proverbs 8. I'm sorry. Actually, 23 first. Proverbs 23 and verse. Give me 1 second. Verse 28.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 23 and verse 28.
Come on.
She also lieth in wait as for a prey, and increaseth the transgressors among men.
Right. So you got to think about this for the brothers out there. This is a spirit that sisters have. It ain't necessary that they want. Jump up a verse.
Verse 27.
Uh-huh.
For a whore is a deep ditch,
uh-huh,
and a strange woman is a narrow pit.
Really, the person that's going to come at you like that, a lot of times they a whore. All they want is you. They want the rod. Some of them here to just pull you out of this walk. It's the devil with a pretty face. Satan with a pretty face. Come on.
Verse 28. She also lieth in wait as for a prey, and increaseth the transgressors among men.
Right. She lie in wait. She waiting on, like you just some meat to her. This is what they fall into when you haven't learned the sister, when you haven't, what is this sister? And we see brothers asking about sisters that's super pretty. Because they burning. They super, let's slow it down, bro. You inquiring about sisters when you should be asking your leadership who out there available that's righteous, that's moving right. But they skip that part. They skip it. What's wrong with you? Who raised you? Right? We know who raised you. The world. You just in the world, because if it was a sister you like that was pretty, whatever the case may have been, what you gonna do? You gonna go try to get a phone number. If it was a brother that you like, you gonna, whatever the case, what I don't know what sisters be doing a lot of times. You know what you do. You gonna probably try to get his phone number, get his digits, or ask your friend to hook you up, or whatever the case may be. You gonna use those avenues or ways that you do to try to get that person. That's not the process though. It's going through your leadership. It's what do you call it? It's making sure you make sure this person is vindicated. Is that the word?
Or validated.
Validated, or whatever the case may be, to make sure they actually living up to what the laws say.
Preventative maintenance.
That's what that is. Look, a problem that you ain't really got to have. How you prevent it? Follow the steps.
Right.
Because look, marriage ain't all hugs and kisses. It ain't all that. But it's a good thing. You know, we building a nation. You get to raise kids in this truth, in this walk, once you do it the proper way. But if you fail to follow the procedures that's laid out, you're screwing yourself. You're playing yourself. You're destroying yourself slowly, because you're gonna get into a marriage that it wasn't really, or you made that. Or God didn't ordain that, you did. You said, well, I'm going to pick and choose mine. And that's going to make you mess up. Proverbs 8. 8:33.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 8, and verse 33. Hear instruction and be wise, and refuse it not.
The Bible says, hear instruction and be wise. Be wise. And refuse it not. You know, you're being wise, applying what you heard. It's that simple. Apply what you heard. Don't go behind the leadership back to do what you want to do to get your rocks off. Don't do that. Because you're going to knock your rocks into one of these diseased persons, and then you're going to be stuck. Now you stuck. Now you're looking stupid. You're looking stupid. Go back to Sirach 37.
The book of Sirach, chapter 37. Verse
12.
The book of Sirach, chapter 37 and verse 12. Be continually with a godly man, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord, whose mind is according to thy mind, and will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry.
So think about this, being continually with a godly person, meaning you proving them right. Now you dealing with them, you know that, okay, they stand in the scriptures. They always around sisters doing it when the sisters got sister circles, or the brothers got MOV. They always around. They doing that type of work. They're proving themselves, building themselves. That's the mind you got to have. You can't be without somebody that's not like that. You can't be with somebody that's not like that, because you're going to fall. You're going to fall. It's not, we've seen many cases when like I'm the exception. No, you're not. You're not. You're not. How do you think you're going to be that exception? You can't be that. It's not possible, because we've seen too many cases where it fell. You're better than them? No, because you made the same poor decision. We have to properly prove. We have to. And in the process, you got to sit back and you have to examine things. Let's go to 2 Corinthians.
Heavy.
You have to examine things. Ten. 13 and 5. Sorry.
I got you. The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 13 and verse 5.
Come on.
Examine yourself, whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves?
So this is something that you have to have in your mind. Is this the move? This the way I want to go, or do I want to be back in the world? Do I want that? So start examining things. Okay, I'm not going after this sister or this brother for lust. I really want to help build a nation. I really want to help. I need help. I need guidance. I know that I'm going through these things, and I have to get a significant other to stop me from maybe these lusts I'm going through. But I want to follow the process. You have to examine these things. You have to read it again.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 13 and verse 5. Examine yourself, whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves? How that Jesus Christ is in you, except ye be reprobate? But I trust that ye shall know that we are not reprobates.
Right, so we got to make sure we do this. We got to follow this step. We can't run nowhere else. Go to Psalms real quick. Psalms, perfect. Psalms 19 and 7.
The book of Psalms, chapter 19 and verse 7.
Come on.
The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple.
So we know the laws of God is perfect. The laws of God is perfect. That's how we get wisdom, when we apply these things. But if we skip through what's put in front of us, knowing that some people are here just to play you, just to move you out of this walk, just to use you, abuse you, whatever the case, and then on to the next. We've seen this, but we know the laws are perfect. When you apply these laws, and you're going to find somebody just like you that's in this. They got the same mind. All right? That's got the same mind. Give me that in the Sirach. It's 13, I think. Sirach 13 and 16. Go there first.
The book of Sirach, chapter 13 and verse 16.
Read.
All flesh consorteth according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like.
Right. So we know, if this is a scripture, we going to see that if you moving righteously, you're going to find that right one. But if you move in another way, if you're not following the proper steps, you might run into the person that's don't give a damn about it either. And then they didn't already mess with somebody else. Or you didn't follow the steps. So now now one of these plagues, these curses came up on you. Something you can't get rid of. Go ahead.
So you know it's heavy, officer. I'm listening, and selfishness is a heavy demon. Right. Selfishness is a heavy spirit. Because at the end of the day, your selfishness puts you in a position to where, like you just said, when it comes to proving, you're not thinking forwardly. I'm going to marry this person to ultimately help build the nation.
Right.
To ultimately put together a good name, a good family, to put forth a good example, like it says in Matthew, a light set on a hill.
Right.
If you're selfish, you're not thinking about that. You like hips, lips, and fingertips.
That's it. You just want to get that rock off. That's all it is.
But you only thinking about you.
Right. You only think about you, and you've been blinded by lust. Mm-hmm. Satan has conquered you. You're letting him win. Mm-hmm. You're letting Satan win when you fall into these things, these diverse lusts. That's a lust. When you fall into it, all right? Let's go to Sirach 26. And let me tell you what you're going to fall into. For you brothers. And it's going to be the same way for you sisters. Watch this. Verse 23.
The book of Sirach, chapter 26 and verse 23. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man. But a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord.
Right. So you're going to see now that if you don't follow the proper steps, you were given to that wicked woman. And that wicked woman was given to the wicked man. So now when you have to get married, because the law tells you that, you entice a maid, or whatever the case may be, you have to get married. So now you married, and then you go home. We didn't hear cases, man. You ain't even, I can't have sex or whatever the case may be. I can't do it with them because I'm scared, because I was raped before. What that? What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, man?
But why?
Right. Or you go home and you didn't know, because you didn't prove the sister, she had 3 kids. That's some crazy stuff right there. Or he got baby mama drama. Or she got baby daddy drama. Or she just got a nasty house. They living conditions are bad. They don't know how to take care of themselves. They get clean 3 times a month, or whatever the case. They only get clean on the feast days and the Sabbath. Anything other than that, they spray perfume. They got to sit in the truck waiting on you, or the car waiting on you. They dirty, they nasty. That's who you gonna fall into. Some nasty people. You don't know what's going on because you didn't do it. Now you got these wicked people, or she don't really care about the commandments. She just wanted to get you. He didn't really care. He was wanting you so y'all can go back to the Christian church.
No proving.
That's scary. You literally want your life to. That's some scary stuff. That's really scary. All right, read it again.
The book of Sirach, chapter 26 and verse 23. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord.
The fear of the Lord. We have to do this. We have to make sure we're following the steps so we can get that godly man or woman that feared the Lord. That you know. How do you know? Because you see them with the brothers, keeping the commandments. They always wearing fringes. They doing the proper step. They're saluting. They respect their leaders. They don't murmur. They don't talk back behind the leadership back, or the brothers back, or the sisters back. They don't do those things. They follow the commandments of God, and you know it because you see the examples. You see this. You're asking. You inquire about them. A diligent search. Mm-hmm. That's what you're doing. You're following the proper steps. You're following it, all right? I go back to that definition. I think it was something at the bottom I wanted.
The definition of prove. Demonstrate the truth or existence of something by evidence or argument.
The synonyms.
Synonyms: demonstrate, show, manifest, determine, substantiate, verify, ratify, validate, authenticate, attest, certify, document, confirm.
Well, you say 1 Peter's real quick.
Yes, sir.
1 Peter chapter 4.
The book of 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 11. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of God. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which God giveth.
Well, you got to think about this. If you're having conversations on the phone and it's wicked as heck, then that's not the person. If the first conversation you have is, what you got on type stuff. No. That person should be thinking of how can the man should be trying to build the sister to be in that wife, or whatever the case may be, to making sure she understands scriptures so she can endure in this walk. The sister should be trying to help motivate the brother to continue to push. Hey, all praises, you keep doing this, or whatever, or just encourage him to keep going further and harder in this truth. But if it's something else, if it's outside of this, then something wrong. It's not structured properly. It's not. We have to see these things. We have to examine it, and we have to say, I think I got the wrong person. It's okay to stop proving. It's not like you didn't just automatically you stuck. No, it's okay because they're not right. Something wrong with their brain. You think we are going to allow you to just stay with them? Is something wrong with them if their minds are not geared towards the commandments of God, to the bettering of the nation? We're not doing our jobs, right?
Right.
We're not doing our job if that's the case.
Say you on the phone and you want to talk about the bishop class, but you want to talk about how big your feet is, how wide your back is.
Right.
She don't want to talk about the deacon's class.
How wide your back is. That's a new one right there. Yeah, it's stuff like that, though. Like, what does that got to do with anything? Why is she disappointed when you say size 8? I'm in size 8. But you 6'1". What the hell wrong with you? Like, yeah, you played yourself. That's what it is, because you was building it off of lust.
Bring it out.
You say what?
No, I'm saying bring it out.
Keep reading.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 4 and verse 11. No,
keep going.
Yes, sir. If any man speak, let him speak of the oracles of God. If any man minister, let him do it as the ability which God giveth.
Now, that's it I want on that. I want y'all to examine something, too, though. You have to make sure you trying them, right? You got to try them, because at the end of the day, you want to make sure if what they go through, they can handle it, and they're going to apply the scriptures. You don't want to have it where, okay, situation with a sister or something happened. You can test them. Ask the sisters questions. What's she going to do? How's she going to respond? And see if they sincere about it. You also want to make sure, go back to prove a friend. Because this is something that we don't see when brothers be proving a lot. If they prove, well, the ones that's doing it right, they're going to do this. But the ones that's falling and doing it wrong, they're not going to do this. Read it again.
The book of Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first.
So if you get a friend, you're going to prove him first, right? So think about this. In that proving stage, we know it's like we talk about verifying, validating certain things. So if you're proving, say a single brother is proving a sister, and what he going to do to learn something about her? To verify what she's saying is accurate or how her spirit is. Where he going to
go? Sis, let me ask you a quick question. Were you in the spirit when you cooked that bread?
Wow. No. You know what he going to do? He going to go to other sisters that hang with her.
Bring it out.
You going to prove this sister, so what you going to do? Okay, I'm going to go to this sister. Or the sister going to check with leadership or to see brothers that deal with this brother and say, hey, how's his brother's spirit when certain things come? Does he get angry? You want to know if this brother is angry. You want to know if he's swift to anger rather than to taking it easy. You want to know this same thing with sisters, or she going, or do you know the sister always murmuring or whatever the case may be? You want to know these things. You have to know these things so you can avoid hardship, situations.
Bring it out.
Getting beat driving down the street. Sirach 2 and 15.
The book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 15.
Come on.
They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word. And they that love him will keep his ways.
Right, because they're going to say they love God, this and that, but that real love, the real fear is being obedient to the commandments, applying what's written in the Bible. the process. All right? We have to apply these. We got to know the structure. We got to make sure we keep it so we can be so we can live happily ever after. Like you see in you think the movies this and this have. You can live happy ever after if you applying the God commandments. If you're walking in the ways of God.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.